Welcome back to another episode of Bopcast, where I interview outliers who are breaking the mold regardless of the status quo. That means that these people are pursuing their dreams no matter what anybody else says. Today on the show, I have a great friend. His name is Brandon Ferrero. If you've been following me for a little while, you might remember this video, and this video. For those who are listening on audio, I'm talking about Heart Problems Told Me to Stop, and now our most recent video/project that took us over 3 years to complete, Bad Things, Good Locations. If you haven't seen the video, I'll link it below. Brandon is a mastermind when it comes to video production. He's also worked on the biggest reality TV shows in the world, and we dive into that today. What are the things behind a TV show, a music video, that you as a viewer aren't seeing but are happening behind the scenes that have to go on to make these things happen? So from production, anywhere from editing to cutting to the industry itself, to obviously having a wide-ranging conversation today and even delving into some pop culture topics, which are always fun. That's what we're doing here today with my friend Brandon Ferrero. Thank you so much for tuning in. Find all of his information below and rock with us today. Stay with us for the whole time. We'd really appreciate it. I know you're going to enjoy it. And once again, make sure to share this with anybody who might find it valuable. So please enjoy this episode of Bopcast with my friend, Brother B, Brandon Ferrero. Today on the show, I have my brother, known as Brother B, filmmaker extraordinaire, hip-hop music video mogul of New Jersey. It's the truth, man. I mean, what you've been able to do with video, especially, sure, mine, but also many others in film and things like that. I want to get into it. We're going to dive in today. But Brandon Ferrero, thank you for being here, man.
Brother Bob, thank you for having me.
Anytime, man. A fellow Italian.
Yes, sir.
What percentage? Do you know? Are you mostly?
So my father is 100% and my mother is 50%.
Nice.
So what's that make?
So you're 150%?
Yeah, 150.
Yeah. Look at that, mathematics. That's why we're here, man. But for people, listen, we have an extensive background of body of work now together and things like that. We've worked on from Heart Problems to the remixes to now Bad Things, Good Locations. We're going to dive into that. But for people who don't know who you are, listeners, watchers, appreciate you guys. Give them a little bit of context, a little window into your world before we fully dive into the podcast.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. My name is Brandon Ferrero. I'm a 24-year-old freelance videographer, cinematographer. I also own a company called Exeter Video LLC, mostly based on music video creation, shoot a bunch of weddings as well, real estate, that sort of thing. All things camera, really.
So this, is that what you thought you were going to do? Or?
At what point?
I guess I don't like to dive too far back because I just feel like it gets boring. But I would say, I guess, wherever it starts. Does it start in high school? Does it start? Well, you guys were making videos in high school.
Yeah, even honestly, I don't want to go too far back. Like you said, it is kind of boring.
If it pertains to the story,
yeah,
100%.
But nah, I would say it was 2009 was when it all started. I had gotten a laptop for Christmas.
Nice.
And my good friend, who you also know, Michael Stephen Moore, had received the same laptop from his parents.
Fellow friend of the pod.
Yes, it was a Sony Vaio, and they were real big at the time. And
flip era, right?
Yeah, that exact time.
Because I got the flip.
Yeah.
Time.
No, my mother had a flip that I used for video as well. We used those laptops to make webcam videos, and then from there got camcorders, would shoot around the neighborhood, make short films, around senior year of high school, Michael and I were making short films, and it was around that point when I was like, hey, I kind of want to do this more seriously. Ended up going to Fairleigh Dickinson University, studied film there. I have a bachelor's degree in film cinematography studies, and so it's pretty much been around since then that I knew I was kind of into all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's for me it was YouTube. And, making gaming videos in 2012, hitting my, NBA 2K13 cheats video. It's that same thing of kind of the creator start. Everybody's creator start. Most people starts with this just homegrown, no expectations, almost just doing it for fun.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it was all just, good fun in the beginning. Really no agenda, just kind of messing around and not really sure what we were doing, but knew we were making something, so.
in terms of like, I feel like this is a good time to ask you this question, really, to like start it off. When you look at, because people will say, you know, whoever it is, videographers, rappers, artists, you know, people who make music, any type of art, that doing the art for money adds a different element to it, or maybe takes away from some of the fun that you could have, because it now there's some kind of expectation on it. Like, I assume that's not, you didn't really think about that until you were actually like doing it for money. Like, I want people to understand that you don't work for one company. Like, you are truly a business freelancer and now business owner. You have your own video company. You chose not to go the kind of, maybe not traditional, but the more mainstream route. Has there been any switch of your passion for what you do from the not doing it for money and now like it's my full-time job?
You know, there's days where I'm like, hey, I've been editing for X amount of hours. I'd like to just chill. You know, I don't think I ever had that point when I was younger. I'd, you know, edit my ass off and never get tired. But nah, the passion's definitely still there, man. Still have that, you know, creative, you know, Energizer bunny just going off inside of me. Still really passionate about, you know, different ideas and creation and all that sort of thing. It definitely depends on the kind of video. You know, I would say my favorite would be music video, just being the amount of liberty that you have as a creator. You know, something like a real estate video or a wedding video, that's more of like a cookie cutter approach to how you would execute that. But something like a music video, you kind of, you know, the sky's the limit. You can do what you wish. You know, granted, the artist you're working with will have some sort of agenda and some sort of like idea, but other than that, you know, the sky's the limit. So
are you like trying to translate they're trying to translate to you what they want most of the time, or is it kind of like, all right, Brandon, do your thing, I don't really have many ideas for this video? Like, how does it work?
All of that. Yeah, no, it's definitely a full range. There's guys that will approach me and they know, like, you know, from A to Z exactly how they want the shots to look, you know, the scenes they want to capture, the vibe they want to, you know, create. And then there's guys that are like, hey, this is my first time doing this. How do I do this, you know? And I'm kind of like, hey, man, you know, wherever you... Basically, my first question that I'll ask artists is like, where were you at when you made this song? You know, what were you feeling? You know, what was the thought process behind creating this for you? Because basically what a video is, it's like, it's an added layer of expression on top of the song itself, you know? So you're kind of just taking what they already felt and just like amplifying that, if that makes sense. So, but no, there's guys that I work with that they know exactly what they want, basically, and then there's some that are like, you know, more open to just listening to what I have to say, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah. So it's a mix, and they, you know, and I think from an artist perspective, from my personal experience, I'm not really ever thinking about the video, personally. Maybe I should, but it's just kind of the thing where, at least in this stage of the game, I think there's just levels to it, you know? Yeah. Like, I think there's artists who have been doing it for 6 years, 8 years or whatever, and they're still in music mode. I think there's artists who have been doing it for the same time, and they're, you know, they have this more kind of or more rounded kind of approach where they have a song that, or say, you know, how long had Joyner Lucas been making music until he put this video together, you know, Keep It 100, where it's like, just using that as an example, this kind of intricate story that this really cool idea, and you can hop in on this, which is like, also, it's when you look at a music video, like, you're seeing all this work put in together to make it look like there's no work, like, just make it look so natural,
seamless,
and easy, and seamless. So you have a video, like, even like Joiners are like many, I mean, even Luke Miller on this podcast talking about working on one of Drake's videos. Like, there's so much CGI along with the video, you know, or any of these other supporting elements. From the viewer's perspective, you're just watching a music video.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's really not a thought in the viewer's mind most of the time, unless you've had some sort of experience in that industry. But I'm kind of still at a small scale, mostly a, you know, one-man show. There are some buddies of mine that I'll collaborate with, you know, if the project calls for it. But for the most part, it's just me. But that is not the case for industry-level videos. You have dozens, if not hundreds of people, whether it's art direction, you know, just the overall concept. You know, you have probably 10 people just in the camera department. You have editing house full of people that are just focusing on the post-production. It takes a village for sure.
Yeah, and you're not just doing what we do. I just buy you pizza every time, and then we're good. And it's like that's how we have to do it because that's the stage that we're at. But you have craft services on these places, and everybody's eating, and everybody's drinking and hanging out. And I watched a breakdown of a music video, and I watched a few of them. It's not something that I went on a full YouTube hole with, but I like seeing the how it's put together, how many people like a lot of these videos you're seeing. Especially the ones you're doing, it's like there's like fucking only like 3 people working on this damn thing.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So you end up like, are you directing, producing? Like, can you explain these different roles? Because I feel like I don't know what a gaffer is. Nobody know. Like people listen and watching. Like what are we not seeing? Like what are these? There's like legitimate. Whether you have a model for fucking like we did for 25 seconds or whatever, it's like that's logistics and planning that has to go in for maybe 8 seconds of a video that you might not even use,
Right. Yeah. No. At like the low budget level, you're definitely as a creator wearing a lot of hats. There's times where I'm directing at the same time that I'm the director of photography, basically the main cameraman. And then when that footage gets done, there's some projects that I've handed that footage to another editor, but most of the time I'm acting as the editor as well. I'm also, for the most part, the producer, figuring out the locations, the logistics of, the schedule of the day, how we're going to, the plan of attack. A lot of the time, the chronological order in which you view the video, that's not necessarily how you shot it. You might have shot that scene one day and then the other scene another day, but that's not necessarily how the viewer would see it, You mentioned gaffer. Gaffer, for the audience, that's someone who focuses on lighting. So there's someone who's specifically going out and, kind of analyzing the scene and saying, hey, this is where the lights need to be. They're not necessarily the ones even putting the lights up. You have your grips. Someone called a grip or a best boy.
Key grip.
Yeah, key grip or best boy. And those are people that are actually...
Even if you're a chick.
Yeah, they got to figure that out as far as... playing. No, for sure. But yeah, no.
Best bud, it's called.
Best bud, yeah. But it's really intricate as far as like you watch a TV show or a movie and most people will turn it off, but there's that long list of people that, scrolls on the screen at the end, and every single person played a part in that production, small or large. And it's, when I was young, I definitely didn't watch those credits, but after, being a part of productions such as those, I sit there and, try and look at those names and be like, yo, these people made this happen,
Yeah, and you'll have a director of photography on a film.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense logically to like the average person. So like what? Yeah, like there's all of these other jobs that you're like, wait, well, there's no photography.
Right.
What does that even mean? Yeah,
director of photography, it's most of the time you're not talking stills, you're talking video, film.
So it's more scene selection in terms of a director of photography. Like it's kind of a director of videography, but they just don't call it that.
Yeah, for the most part. And those guys might not even be the main camera operator. The DP, director of photography, they might just be, communicating with the camera team and being like, hey, these are the looks we're going for. This is the shot list. This is the lookbook. Most of the time there'll be like a storyboard or something, like a plan of attack. And the director of photography is communicating very closely with the actual director. The thing most people won't realize is the camera department, if you have actors and people like that on set, it's like a big no-no for camera to actually directly communicate to the actor. The director themselves is the only one who communicates to the actor. So the chain of communication would be if like the DP is like noticing something that the actor's doing wrong, they might notify the camera op would tell the director, then the director would go over and communicate that to the actors, basically.
Damn, so is this probably some, in your more higher level productions that you've been a part of, because you don't just shoot hip-hop music videos, there's got to be some pressurized environments here, some like tensions, some pressure to, when a moment happens, everything has to be in line for that shot to make sense. Like you must have been a part of some situations, even in your, just in this experience. Like
I've dabbled a little bit with some reality TV stuff. I've worked on some high level documentary
some
things.
Large shows that you would know the name of, especially if you're in this general tri-state.
Yes. And you know, there's big bucks for every single day that, you know, you're
It's just like you just see, like it's just dollars being like just dispensed. Like you could just like as the day goes on, the dollars are dispensed.
yeah.
It's just,
And if something goes wrong, like say someone forgot to roll audio that day, like that's a whole day that you paid every single
that happen?
person.
Does
Oh
shit-
yeah, no,
oh,
I've been
yeah.
on docs where things
my
like
God.
that have happened.
and then you're pulling audio from the cameras, and then
and you might just have to scrap it, like, which is a really sad reality, but sometimes that happens where you'll throw a shit ton of money into something and just one little factor will go wrong and it'll screw it all up, you know. But yeah, for the producers, which a lot of people will be like, oh, this is a Steven Spielberg movie, he's the director. Well, what people don't realize is producers are the ones who like birth the film. The producer actually hires the director and then hires the camera crew and hires all the creatives that are a part of it. So it's really those producers that are like, yo, this needs to go well and you guys need to come correct because it's our dollar that's on the line, you know.
and those producers could be getting funding from somebody else, and
Right.
so they are almost like the business owner getting the funding, and they're like, we'll take a percentage of this film,
Yeah.
or whatever. We'll put up that money because you're going to make our money back, and that's actually just to hop into something slightly topical. Disney, one of their last maybe you can find it. I don't know what movie this is. They just flopped hard, really hard. It's a Disney movie. But when you think about it, I was listening to a podcast. I think it was with Schultz, Andrew Schultz, and Patrick Bet-David. But they were like, first they were painting the picture, the example of the fact that Disney just like lost all this money on this recent movie, but then also the fact that it's Disney.
Yeah.
Like nobody has, like they can make up the 100 million in Disney World and with no issue, you know. So
Right.
it's just amazing though that you could put all of this into a film and then just the market's like, nope.
Just
We don't
doesn't
like
work. Yeah, no, for sure.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, it is. There's been, I don't know if I forget the name of the director. I know the movie was called Cats. I think it debuted in 2019, but it was a major flop. It was heavy CGI film. I know that James Corden was in it. I think Taylor Swift might have had a role in it. A few other big names, and because of the CGI element, like it was a movie about people that kind of looked like cats, and they were doing that like some sort of weird CGI where the actors would actually act, but then they would kind of like
dub almost
yeah
a face on
dub
it
the
or something.
visual
Yes,
onto
yeah.
it, almost like augmented reality in a way, and just throw it on there. But the first cut of it was like people were in the theaters like, oh my god, like these cats looked insane. Okay. Strange World.
Okay.
That was the recent Disney flop.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe maybe we can find how much they lost on that too. We'll check that out, see if you can find that.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Cats as
Yeah.
well. And this happens like all the time, I guess.
Yeah, no, I
Not
mean,
everything's a hit.
and you're probably not going to know about it because if it didn't do well, you probably, I mean, unless you're into those sort of tabloids and magazines, you're probably not going to hear about it, you know, because it wasn't a success. So
Quick thing, I think Spotify is going to have music videos.
Yeah.
Full music videos.
Apple Music already does, right?
They do?
I believe.
Okay, because
yeah.
that makes no... I mean, Spotify... Netflix is going to do podcasts. Spotify is going to start doing more video. It's like, this is the way this is going.
Yeah.
Baby. You go where the attention is.
100%.
What I'm explaining to, like I was explaining to you, like, how I'm talking to a lot of YouTubers these days, and I'm like, you think that people that win have good predictions? They don't. They just adapt, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Strange World's $100 million box office loss
Yikes.
worsens Disney's streaming problems.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that. And dude, it's like, yeah, sure, Disney Plus, like, yeah, it makes sense. Paramount Plus, yeah. Like, plus, do all the subscription shit. Like, I don't think this is a dent, to be honest. I mean, it's a dent, but it's not. It's like a small dent on a big car, I think, for Disney.
Yeah.
Just because there's just Disney, man. Like, you just can't compete.
Yeah.
And that's the good thing. Like, people will always talk shit on, like, diversification, like, in terms of, not diversification in your assets, but, Sears gets into real estate, and then they go down, you know, or whatever. It's like you diversify into an thing that you don't know, and then you lose.
It's risky.
Disney has killed it because the things they do are all different, but they all can support. One thing goes down, the other one picks it up. It's like Mr. Beast. Like, he drops $1 million on a video, the video flops. He's got another $1 million, he makes another video, that one makes $2 million, and covers the one that flopped.
Yeah.
That might happen. I guess it happens with movies too.
Mr. Beast is a genius.
Yo.
Yeah, that dude, I think he was in Forbes recently as potentially going to be the first billionaire YouTuber, which is pretty insane to think about.
It makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, if you look at once again, they don't predict, they adapt. Mr. Beast goes, wait, we're missing out on X amount of viewers in 38 different countries? Cool, we'll translate all the videos.
Yeah. And hires actors to literally dub every single video and goes back. Like, it's not just subtitles. Like, literally, like, dubs everything. He's a genius.
Dude, what's your, we're going a little ADHD here, but what's your opinion on, yeah, so that's the, just to hop in here, for people listening, we got something on the screen. It's, so 54 million is the net worth, is that what it's showing? I see a 54.
Yeah, that's what it says. Wow.
That's insanity.
I think that must be a little low. I know that.
That's definitely low.
Yeah.
Well, dude, they're saying the internet says that Gary Vee and Rob Dyrdek are both worth 100 million each.
Really?
No fucking shot, boy. Gary's definitely worth 500. I'm pretty sure Rob's definitely worth more than one.
Yeah, I think.
It's like, I don't believe shit.
I think anything the internet says in terms of net worth is a little skewed.
Big guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Yo, let me say something about Joe Rogan too, real quick, just because nobody really talks about this. Joe didn't make all of his money off Spotify, bro. He had $100 million before that.
Okay.
I don't think people know.
No, I did not know that.
Joe had a lot of money from Onnit. Joe started a business with Aubrey Marcus in like 2007 called Onnit.
No, what is Onnit? What was it?
Onnit is a supplement company.
Okay.
And also a gym. And it's like a health, fitness supplement gym. I forget, I have it over there, one of their supplements, but it's like, you see something happen, but it's like, oh wait, homie's already got, like, the Spotify deal ain't shit, boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, it's crazy.
It is. I mean, and this is really encapsulating the future of media. You know, like, how do you think of that? Like, when you look at, I'm making music videos right now, but what do you like? What is that? How do you see it? Because you're actually there filming it, and like, hey, we do podcasts. Like, it's kind of similar, but.
Yeah, like the future of the music video industry specifically.
I guess, yeah, hone in on that.
Yeah.
I like that niche.
Nah, for sure. I know that it could just be like one of the, things that are in right now, but like the VR technology, Zuckerberg's pushing it hard. I think that creating like those virtual experiences for your viewer, I can see more 360 cameras being on music video sets and, artists creating scenes in 3D environments, where a viewer can just put on their VR headset and look around and watch the performance happen in front of them. More AI related things, more just computerized cameras, like the Humble music video that Kendrick dropped in 2017, that very like staple-esque shot of him looking in one direction and then the camera like turns and then he's looking in that direction and then he looks down and the camera moves, and that's a robot. That there's so much technology going on music video sets, robotics and AI and things that people don't even really understand, that, oh, that wasn't a human being that did that,
It's not going to need to be.
No. I mean, I'm going to be screwed, man.
No, you'll be fine. You'll be doing posts.
No, yeah, for sure.
They can't do posts. They can, but they don't have the creativity.
Yeah, no.
They won't have that.
You need a human element.
Here's the deal. What I just saw, actually the most convincing thing I've ever seen. Now, Trent might have an opinion on this because he's into cars too, but it was the fact that AI or AR or whatever it is, thermal imaging, a car can see through fog.
No way.
Yes. A Tesla sees through fog.
I did not know that.
It's thermal, like if they have a, thermal imaging.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure a Tesla probably does. So that's then 100% always safer than a person.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like when you can kind of do these things where it's like people can't see at night, cars can. Or it's like that's what I see for AI. Like I don't see it replacing. I see it just adding.
Enhancing.
Or enhancing and being able to pick up where we leave off.
Yeah.
But it is still scary.
No, for sure. Yeah, totally ADHD right now in the pod, but I love it. I love going from one thing to another. But
it's Bobcast. They know.
Yeah.
If you're new, I appreciate you because this is what we do, baby.
Yeah, but to get a little weird and scientific and spiritual or whatever, but we're basically just like organic vessels, and our brain is a sensor, as humans. And what does that say?
So this is the explanation of how Teslas can see through fog. The Stanford research paper basically says that by using a very fast pulsating laser and an ultra-sensitive diode, computers can create an image of something that's hidden behind something like fog. It creates the image by focusing the diode on the few photons that go through the distortion
or the obstruction in return.
So that little bit of light that's traveling through that fog, it's using
That's-
that and creating an image from it. That's nuts.
You know where I got that?
Where?
I was watching a video of a guy who traveled the country on a motorcycle.
Oh, shit.
And he has the record. He was averaging, I think, 150 miles an hour or something crazy like that. For
Damn.
a lot of it. Yeah. He used the thermal or that type of camera he hooked to his motorcycle. He's like a motorcycle mechanic engineer guy.
Gotcha.
And because he didn't want to stop.
Yeah.
So, dude, he had a diaper.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he had a diaper.
Was it an electric? What do you mean? Like fuel and how?
Oh, no, he had like a diaper so he could piss. And
Yeah, but like, aren't you going to run out of gas?
so he had... he built a bigger tank, and then he had an extra tank as well. He could go, I believe, 600 or 700 miles without refilling.
Wow.
He would literally refill and then just hop back on and go. He wouldn't even... I think he stopped at one rest stop the whole time, he said. By the way, let me give context. From Fort Lauderdale, or from California to Fort Lauderdale, I think. So from California to Florida, or vice versa. That was the ride.
That is crazy.
Actually, yeah, he shipped it to California, then rode it to Florida.
Jeez.
Got the record.
That's a flex.
That's a flex.
Yeah.
But dude, that's gonna be motorcycles. All motorcycles gonna have thermal imaging. They're
Yeah.
gonna have all that diode imaging shit.
100%.
Like that's what I'm looking at. That's cool to me. The scary shit is scary. But
Totally. But yeah, where I was going earlier is like we're an organic vessel. Our brain is a sensor, and our sensor has limitations, as humans. And there's animals, that exist on this planet that, their limits exceed ours. And I think, technology, engineers and people like that, observing other animals and creatures that, go beyond human limits, that can inspire the future of technology in certain senses, like with the thermal imaging. I don't know exactly what animal to use as an example, but I know dogs can see at night, or different.
your cats or
Yeah. The whole
Snakes.
reason whole reason it's hard to swat a fly is because like their metabolism, they see time in a slower way. So when you're going to swat that fly, it's like and it's just like just goes right around your hand, So the way animals perceive time is even different, So yeah, we're limited as humans, and our technology is, like you said, it's just where we've left off, just going beyond that.
Yeah, and it all has to do with video.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be AR, AI, VR. It's all video related. It's all video devices. There's no sonic AI devices. It's not audio only. Maybe for people that are blind, I can see it, but not even.
No.
Did you just see the most recent Neuralink video?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, man, they're ready. They're gonna give people. They're gonna be. So Elon owns this company called Neuralink, and they're the first people that they're gonna treat with it. It's an implant in your brain the size of a quarter.
Okay.
The first people that they're gonna treat with it are people who are blind and also people with spinal issues.
Wow.
They're gonna be able to restore sight in people who have never been able to see.
That is amazing.
Yep, their eyes have never worked.
They're there, like it's happened.
They just released their presentation on they haven't said they can do that until now. Like now they're saying we are able to do it. We haven't done it yet, but we're able to do it.
Jeez.
Before it was we hope to do it.
Yeah. So
now the presentation is each engineer explaining how it's going to happen.
wow, that's pretty amazing.
Yes. So I mean, think about it. They've cloned goats, like they've done like these kind of cool experiments. But man, you give somebody their sight, that's what's everybody goes doomsday with the we're gonna be implants of the brain and all that stuff. Like yes, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be a lot longer, but a lot of technology comes from either military or medical.
Yeah.
That's how technology begins, a lot of it.
Right.
So-
Yeah. No, military is like a decade ahead of us at all times, if not like two. And like by the time that, it gets to the market in a consumer sense, like it's old news for like the military and stuff. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Dude, how much I don't think your industry is really behind. I feel like people are pretty up on their technology in the video industry.
The one thing that is really, really scary, but also really impressive is that deep face technology. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. The Irishman movie that Scorsese put out, they did that to de-age certain actors. Most of the time you're hiring your top-of-the-line makeup artist, and sometimes even getting, doppelganger look-alike actors to play younger versions of actors. But with this technology, they can basically, put sensors all over an actor's face, and then using CGI de-aging technology and deep face technology can just make them look like someone else. But the danger of it outside of my industry is like, politics. Like, I think someone put out a video where it sounded and looked like the president of the United States, declaring war on another country, or, just it can be used for the wrong intention is my point, So it's very useful in, the right application, but in the wrong hands, it could be dangerous.
The off that deep face note, there almost is right now AI that looks human, right? So imagine you have AI that looks human. AI improves itself. That's crazy.
Yeah, the fact that it's just
There's
able to
not a
enhance
technology that improves itself.
No.
Except this. It's going to be, so imagine you have like a human, AI version of the human on video.
Yeah.
You can't now, all right, you can't tell the difference if it's an AI or human. Imagine now you can't tell. That AI, because it can improve itself and also have all the information, can create constant content. Content creators are going to be, music video creators are fine because they can't make music because they can't formulate the creativity.
Yeah.
But if you're just a guy like me or whatever, say a podcaster or whatever, like that just sits there and talks to the audience, if that's going to be an AI, but that AI is always optimizing and always creating the best content possible all the time, and it doesn't have to eat and it doesn't get tired, it's going to be a content machine.
Yeah. If you talk to some of the smartest people in the world, man, they say our biggest threat isn't nukes or anything like that. It's AI,
It's
so
crazy.
But I think the human element, man, like I wouldn't worry as a podcast host. I think that to be able to empathize and feel and actually understand and put yourself in the shoes of another human being, I think you can't get that, at least now, to my understanding, with technology, So.
Well, the reality is we don't know as well. That's the thing. Like, it's all this prediction shit.
Yeah.
Nobody predicted this phone.
No.
Like, it's just nobody predicted. You don't know where it's going to go because culture has to change for it to go there.
Yeah.
So you can't predict about AI really because the culture has to either accept or deny it.
Right.
And you're seeing that with Oculus. We don't all have Oculus. We don't all use it all day, every day. It fucking sucks. If it didn't suck, we'd use it. If it wasn't super expensive and didn't suck, we would all use it.
Well,
we have no reason to use it.
100%. And what's interesting too is the people, like you said, no one predicted this phone. Well, if you actually go back, it might have been the late 70s or early 80s. Bill Gates had a lot to say about where we would be in the future. And a lot of the predictions he said in terms of, just UI and the abilities that we have with our smartphone, he predicted that. But the funny thing is, the person to predict it is not necessarily the person to invent and then benefit from it. Steve Jobs is really the one who came out with that. The fact that Zuckerberg right now is trying to push this Meta thing, I watched a video and I forget the source. I wish I could state it, but the whole idea was that Zuckerberg is really pushing hard on it. But think about like where that whole Meta and kind of virtual reality is most similar to video games. Like companies like Activision and I'm trying to think of another one, Bungie, or just like big video game developers. Like Microsoft is more intertwined with those companies. That I think that you might be a pioneer in something, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be the best at it or end up monopolizing it.
Yes, you can predict, but it doesn't mean that you've adapted.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you've created the way just because you predict the way.
For sure.
And to the Facebook point, think about Facebook, right? Facebook doesn't have hardware, okay? Google doesn't really have hardware either, but they don't need it. They're Google. Facebook is Facebook, okay? Facebook conquers and then destroys, right? So Instagram, Facebook buys, conquers, then destroys Instagram. So that's what they do. They conquer and destroy. They try to squeeze the last living breath out of it. They give you a ton of views and then take them all away and make you pay for them, right?
Yep.
That's their thing. That's fact. Like, fucking argue with me on it if you want, but it's like, there's no way they're not doing it.
No, I can attest.
It's fucking search and destroy for them. Take the biggest thing, we buy it, we own it, we control it, and then we turn it into nothing, you go to the next thing. Facebook has never done hardware, and they know they got to go there. They're like, we need hardware, we need stuff in people's homes, we need Apple. Facebook needs to be Apple.
What is Oculus? Is that Facebook or is that?
Facebook probably owns it now.
Okay.
Yeah, check that out, Trent. But I think Facebook.
But they bought it. Like they didn't. They didn't design it. Yeah, like you said, they acquire it and then destroy it.
And then Now they're not social media with Facebook is like they're just having fun, like buying Instagram. It's like they're not just having fun, but it's not as serious as it's not as serious as it looks.
Yeah.
What is serious is the VR, is the Oculus. Facebook is finally buying hardware, but instead of hedging their bets on right now, what they did with Instagram's blowing up, let's buy it. They're hedging their bets on 15 years from now.
Yep.
With what they're going to do. Zucks is dropping this shit now, so you say it's crazy. He's not dropping it so everybody's like, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. Like, I can't wait, Zucks. Nobody likes what he's doing.
He's anticipating that.
You're saying ahead. Yeah. Or he's wrong. The market was up. Yeah, Oculus raised, let me read that real quick just because I want to say. Oculus raised over $2.4 million for the project via crowdfunding. Wow, that's it. Nearly 10 times the original goal. They raised $250,000, and Oculus was acquired by Facebook in 2014. Wow.
Crazy.
And I see 2.4 as nothing, but in 2014, that was a little bit more for crowdfunding.
Yeah, but still, for, a major company, that's minuscule.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, especially that, just like, well, that's the crazy shit. I mean, dude, hardware's all good, but software's where it's at.
Yeah.
Replicate, duplicate. Not the shit we do, that's all custom.
Right.
One time. Every time you make a video, you gotta make a video again.
Right.
Your last video has nothing to do with this one.
No.
It doesn't mean this one's gonna be good. That last gig you did doesn't mean shit about this gig that you're going to.
It's a clean slate. Yeah.
Yep. Podcast,
100%.
same thing. In terms of the your kind of split in the video world, in terms of what, from a wedding, from more cookie cutter to a product video, to which you've done, to a music video, did it become naturally, did it just become obvious to you that music videos were the thing? Like you said before that you really like doing them, but in college, hey, shit, what am I going to do? Let's look at what all these other, everybody in my class is going to be PAs on films or PAs on TV shows or whatever, but shit, I'm going to do some hip hop music videos.
I think it was the most doable, the most executable. It was like, you don't need a lot of money in terms of low budget. You can kind of just go out as long as the song exists. I don't know if everyone knows, but for the most part, you need to have that song, created prior to shooting the video. Otherwise, it gets really complicated in terms of timing, and the edit could get very messy. So you need the song, you need a camera, and then you need the artist. It's very bare bones. You can go out, shoot it without a crew. Like, obviously, higher production, you're looking at a crew. But in terms of just being able to go out and create something and add your flair and, do what you want to do with it, it doesn't take a lot, So that was, for me, it was like, all right, I'm in college, broke, super broke, and I want to create things. Well, going out with my buddies and shooting fun videos, music videos, it was the most doable option that we had, even as a wedding, to get hired as a wedding videographer, you need to have business insurance. You need to have some sort of credibility. A couple's not just going to hire you right off the bat. Like, a lot of the weddings I shoot isn't for my own company. It's for different companies that have established their credibility, and I'm just a contractor, So music videos were just the thing that I could just go out and do myself and not really have to rely on anybody else to make happen,
Yeah, it was very independent.
For sure.
Did you think about running a business, or were you really naive to the fact that you're going to have to run a business, and because it seemed like you were really going into it for the creativity side, and we hit a wall where you go like, oh shit, I'm kind of doing something different now. Yeah.
No, I had no intention at first of running a business. Like I said, it was really just about creating something that I felt was special. Always liked camera work, kind of how I said before, dating back to my early years. So just being able to create a really dope image and something that like makes you look twice and be like, oh, that's pretty neat. That's what I like about it. And, but no, obviously as an adult now and having bills and rent and different things that need to get paid, and just establishing a savings and, whatever financial, things I have, responsibilities, it kind of transitioned and adapted into a business at that point. It was like, hey, I'm decent at this. I think people would be willing to, pay me for it. And, so it was kind of at that point I was like, let's give this a shot.
And just go for it.
Yeah.
Like, so it was like not really a question. It was kind of just like roll right in.
For sure. I mean,
I did the same shit at the same time. So
with podcasting. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
to an extent, yeah.
But nah, for me, I was operating for a long time, which you can operate for your entire existence as a sole proprietorship. And I was doing that out of college, in college. And it wasn't until this May that I finally locked in my LLC, kind of established the brand Exeter. And yeah, that's kind of when it became like an official, okay, this is his business sort of idea.
Yeah, now it's, does it allow you though? Do you think anything's changed that you have a real like an actual business, or do you think was there any shift in what you do or how you look at it, or is it just like I'm just doing this like more official thing now?
I think I try to hold myself to a little bit of a higher standard. For the most part, my process is very similar. But now I'm like, all right, I have a rep to protect. Your name is always attached to things. So even before your reputation is on the line, but
Yep.
now even more so, because you have this brand that you're trying to build and bring people's attention to, and you want to have people see that in a positive light. So for me, it's like, always come and correct. Your word is bond. You tell someone something, the video, I'll deliver it to you on this day. Damn well better deliver it on that day, I'm going to give you X amount of hours of shooting, maybe even throw an extra hour on top, just try and go a little bit above and beyond and wow the client to the point where they're like, I definitely want to work with this person again,
Yeah, and refer you.
For sure. Yeah, referrals are huge.
Yeah, the sale is not the sale, dude. The sale is the relationship.
Yeah, without
The
a doubt.
sale is the seed, not the plant.
Yeah. No, that is a great way of putting it.
Yeah,
for sure.
It should introduce you to a relationship with this person.
Yes.
The sale is the test. They're testing you. They want to see what you're going to do.
For sure.
And I mean, the more you value the other side and the more you focus on their experience, the more of those referrals and business that you get and more lifetime value.
Definitely. Yeah. And as time goes on, like with more referrals, you build a bigger client base. And, at certain points I've, adjusted rates, and I've had people that were working with me at a lower rate that are like, I like this dude. I like the work that he does. And even at the higher rate, they've stuck with me, so that means a lot.
I think, I know for a fact, even videographers, non-videographers, everybody that's, people that know you well, people who don't know you as much, but, they mention, the quality of your videos, which I think is definitely you can have a music video, but I feel like there's a shot quality, there's like a composition quality, like an overall quality of, and that kind of creates, like when an artist has their voice, right, and their sound, when you listen to something, you're like, that's them. Or a producer, you go, that's a Kenny Beats beat. Or that's a XYZ beat,
Yeah.
I feel like with video, you start to build that. And you see the guys who come up in the game, they're shooting music videos, but they're just shooting music videos. You know what I'm saying? They're not putting together a production.
For sure.
So does that also evolve over time as you do you just get better at that? Like, how does that work, man? Like you finding your sound, but for you, your,
my style,
your visual.
Yeah, my visual style. My approach to shooting has definitely changed. I think in the beginning it was like get a wide, get a close up, just get X, Y, and Z and then chop it all up. But now it's like when you're looking at the higher end music videos, you realize like it's even if there's not a straight up narrative being told, like a story or something like that, there's still kind of like a chronological visual story. So they'll create scenes just within the visuals. So I'll try and I'll build a scene through, a good variety of coverage just meaning like all different kinds of angles and that sort of thing. Different, a static shot where the camera's not moving, moving shots. Just get a good range of visuals and then build a scene. And when I say build a scene, it's kind of like use, second 35 to 55 in the music video. And that is the only time you might see those shots. Like there are certain music videos where you'll parallel cut back and forth from the one scene to the other. And in my opinion, in certain videos, it might serve, to the actual creative, outlook of the artist or what they're trying to achieve. But sometimes that can exhaust the visual. Like, it's like, all right, I saw that shot in the beginning. I'm 2 minutes into this video and here's the same shot. If you can kind of just create a scene and not exhaust too much of, say, like the real estate or like the shots that you have to offer, and only give them a taste of it, I feel like that's something I've learned over time, is to not like over exhaust your shot selection in the edit and stuff like that.
Your attention to detail is incredible, because you can you could watch, for example, any of your videos, but our video, just to use that as an example, Bad Things, Good Locations, the recent one, like, you can watch that. Everybody who watches that, it's like, oh, that's cool, that's dope, I love this video. But if you actually go and look at the shots, everything's strategically placed, and there's there's something else happening besides just it looking visually appealing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and anytime, man. I mean, that's just the facts. And, that's what I really like about you. I also think what you do, and it kind of goes for this video too, man. It kind of goes for Bad Things too. It's not, you don't always have a story to tell. You don't always have a song that is this intricate, deep storyline that there's 100 different ways you can go with it, or even how we were riffing before the podcast, putting together this video. You don't always have the real estate.
Right.
And you're trying to create something cool, but you might not even have a storyline,
Yeah.
You might just have what I call a rapper's music video. I'm a rapper. Here's my people. Here's my bitches. Here's my homies. Here's my blunts.
100%.
Here's my 40s. Here's my Hennessy.
Let's
here's
flex.
My thing.
It's flex time.
It's flex time. How the fuck do you build a story out of flex? Just flex only.
No, for sure. It's you kind of have to look at what the song is and just be like, all right, this is the mission, man, and the mission's different every time. But so I would like to go into Bad Things, Good Locations a little bit, you being the artist and everything. Do you want to give the viewers and listeners a little bit of a background on that track?
Yeah, great transition. 2019, I get this beat from Jello. Shout out to Jello Music, man. One of the best producers that exist, in my opinion. And he's amazing.
Hell yeah.
We did Heart Problems. I have so many songs with him, and most of them are to come. Concert pianist, classically trained, turned music producer. You can't tell a better story. And he sends me this beat, and I'm like, dude, this is the beat, baby. I'm like, this is it. I just fall in love with this song, man. Don't remember the writing process, to be honest with you. But I'll tell you this: I wrote the track, I wrote the hook. The hook came first, bro. The hook just came. And I just went on that verse, dude. And I had that verse, and I had the bridge, and then a modified version of the bridge. So I'm like, all right, this is the song. It's like 2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And we go to the studio with Tyler at the Vault. Shout out to Tyler Braddock, man. And we're in there. It's me, him, and Jello. This is like the meeting of the fucking minds, because it's like Tyler is such an amazing engineer, and he doesn't know Jello. Like, he doesn't know how crazy he does, because he's listening to the song. But it's like Jello's got his own musical just world that he's in,
for sure.
And Tyler's so talented as an engineer. And then I'm in there, and I'm like, I gotta add to this song. So I wrote another verse, because I'm like, this song needs this second verse.
Definitely deserved that verse.
It was desiring something, because this song was too much of a banger to not have that verse. And so, bro, I laid that down, and I was like, just move this here, that there, and it just came together. And that session was at least probably 2021.
Bro, that is crazy.
So 2 years later, I lay down the second verse.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, this song's done. Tyler bounces it out, masters it. I run it by a lot of people. Everybody's like, this is it. You got to drop this. You got to drop this, man. Fast forward to us linking up and really, I think you can pick the story up from there, but I don't even remember how we got going on this video, man.
I just know that you were like, bro, this is a track, like you had just mentioned the story of it. This is a track I've been sitting on for a minute. I've been wanting to shoot for this for such a long time, and I know this is the one I want to shoot for next. We had shot a freestyle music video. We had shot Heart Problems. I think told me to stop actually happened in between.
Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah, that was a track that I'm not sure when you wrote
Dude,
that.
I still send that to people, and they're like, "This is cool, man."
Yeah.
I still like that shit. It's such a simple video, such a simple song. Like,
Just shot that in a day, pretty
that
much. Yeah, and
in
like
2.5 hours.
Yeah, if that. Yeah.
on a rock.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
Yep. But we had started shooting in like April of 2021, right over here, in your neck of the woods. Went up on that cliff. I can't disclose the actual location because that's part of the.
It's called the Bluffs. If you know it, you know it.
Okay. And yeah, so we started there, and then I think the second day was over at that dam, that like waterfall area.
It's called the Dam. If you know it, you know it.
Yep. And we spent a day on a boat. Like we just went out on your little skiff.
That's
and we were
my
just-
boat. If you know it, you know it.
You sold that boat, right?
Yeah, man, I sold the boat.
That's a damn shame.
I actually donated the trailer to a fire department.
Okay. Hell yeah.
So they used it for like a Santa's like Christmas sleigh.
Huh, that's awesome.
Hopefully, yeah.
Word. No.
Anyway, but no, yeah, that boat shot is one of my favorite shots. My second favorite shot, I think, in the whole video.
Word. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That
Dude,
day.
and my homie, I'm showing him the video, and he's like, "Whose boat is that?"
My boat, bitch.
Whose 10-foot bass boat is that I got from my grandpa?
But yeah, no, that day I was too much of a I was just too scared to bring my camera on that boat. We shot that entirely on GoPro that day.
Yeah, but that's it. That made sense.
Still worked. Yeah. And then
You get in some situations, man. Shit.
yeah, and then we had a fat gap, and we didn't pick it up until winter time. The following year, like March of 2022 of this year, earlier this year.
Yeah, we caught the last storm.
The last snowstorm to hit. Yeah, you came over to my neck of the woods in Morris County, and we shot that right outside my apartment complex. And
Exactly where we shot told me to stop.
yeah,
Yep.
right over there.
But it was snow covered. You couldn't even tell.
Yeah, and we
We made
shot,
that shit look like a winter wonderland. Dude.
shot right in the snow. I think I had the umbrella, right? Didn't I have the umbrella on top? How did I make sure that?
Yeah, I think you had the umbrella, and also, so I'm like, it's snowing out. I'll take my truck, right?
Yeah.
The red truck, not the 4Runner. I took the Tacoma, dude, and I'm such an idiot. The 4-wheel drive doesn't work, bro. To make it to your fucking house for this video, there's Honda Civics, Acuras, Lexus. They're all in front of me, behind me, no issue. I'm fishtailing back and forth, bro. I'm literally fishtailing as I'm driving.
Nah.
All I'm doing is steering the wheel all the way left, and then all the way right, then all the way left, and then all the way right. I literally got out of the truck and pushed all the shit in the back to the very back of the truck to try to get some traction to make it for that fucking video.
I don't know how you did that. All the power to you.
Hey, you know me and driving, bro. I don't wear my fucking seatbelt.
My man is
Brandon's
different.
like, we're about to expose Bop, bro. We're gonna tell the world he doesn't wear a seatbelt.
There's a long array of words I could use, but different is probably the best that I could just use in this moment to describe that. And then we shot that. I just want to mention for any other videographers out there, a little cheat code. If you have some inclement weather, just grab a backpack, throw that on your back, get an umbrella, and throw the umbrella in between your back and the backpack. And for the most part, that's a solid way to just make sure the rain's not hitting your camp. So that's a good little trick.
Love that shit when you did that. When you pulled that out, I'm like, and I always brought an umbrella after that too, because I'm like, even if he doesn't have it back up, I got it back up.
We need it, yeah.
Yep.
And then another even fatter gap, and I think I hit you up in the summer. I'm like, dude, we got to shoot this last scene.
Because I knew we had to shoot it, and I'm like, no, that guy got gigs, blah, all this shit, and I'm like, no, I can't let this go, man. Thank God that you texted me. I remember when you texted me, I go, in my head, I'm like, I want to do it, but I'm like, I don't really want to do it. I got so much shit going on, but I'm like, no, we have to do it. This is not a thing of like, this is now or never for this video.
100%. Yeah, the summer was coming to an end, and we had to execute. And we were very fortunate to have my good friend Adam Reyes come out with his drone, and we went out to the jetty on Brigantine Beach, and he killed it and got some awesome shots. And then we made our way down the beach where some people were hanging out, and Bop and I, before the shoot date, we're like, we would love to get a model for this video. Let's see how we can go about that. And nothing really panned out. And we're like, we're just going to wing it. And we pull up to the beach, and there just happens to not only be a model, but a modeling coach that is on the beach that day. And she was so nice. Her name's Shannon.
Dude, we just got so lucky with that.
Yeah, super lucky. And she was...
I mean, that was the day of plan.
Yeah.
Was to, if we see anybody... even if we saw just a random group of people, we were probably going to include them. It's like whatever we're going to get on that beach that day, we were going to get. But we were going up to different people, random girls on the beach. We were having your fucking brothers. He was running up to
Yeah,
people.
just be like, would you be in this video? Yeah.
And they're like, nah, we're underage or whatever. And then
she was very nice, and we got one shot, and I looked at Bop. I'm like, I'm gonna ask if we could do one more. Got the second shot, which ended up being like my favorite shot of that scene. And then yeah, we headed over to my my pop's crib. He also lives in Brigantine, and we shot the scene with our good friend Jared and our good friend Michael Stephen Moore. And we shot a little bit over at the bar, and also got that iconic pool shot. So and that was it. That was the video. We made it happen.
dude, it was incredible. It was so crazy to, especially after that day, man. We were just sitting there. It was just me and you, like at the bar and by the pool. And we're just like, this is it, dude. We just fucking did this.
It was
shit.
pretty surreal.
It was surreal, man, and just the shit that goes like, and also the fact that like I'm listening to this song for the first time again. Like I'm playing this song. I made this shit 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I almost forgot.
Straight up.
I've never performed this song.
Nah.
Nobody even like people like I've been performing songs at shows like, you know, for Told Me to Stop I've done 3 times. You know, I even Can't Stop I've done a couple times. Like, you know, obviously the OGs and some freestyles and stuff. Like never performed the track. Like kind of like in my head I'm like, this is it. This is the track. And then you also get a reality check where you go like, all right, you need to market it if you want people to see it. But the audience, you know, people listening and watching, appreciate you guys for supporting it. You know, audience fuck with it.
Yes, thank you.
And also, yeah, I've gotten way more compliments on the video than the song.
Well,
incredible.
I couldn't have made the video without the song, bro. You fucking killed it. So
and even like, you know, shout out to Lake, dude. He was like, yeah, man. He's like, the song's good, but the video. He said the video, and he said that guy in the video.
Oh, Mike. Yeah, nah.
Mike Moore.
Yeah.
So even it's like we captured it, dude. We fucking captured it.
Yeah, Michael is the kind of guy where he's so smart. You don't even have to tell him what to do. He just understands the assignment, you know. And he just came and did his thing that day, and it was awesome having him.
We went back to the podcast episode with him today.
We
looked at it for a second.
Yeah.
And podcast was not great back then, but it was all right.
He helped with heart problems, right?
Yeah, he actually did the recording.
Yeah.
And the mastering, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, more than helped. Yeah.
Potentially the mixing and the mastering. I don't know if we did the recording there or not. I think we did. Yeah, Luke Miller was there actually shooting like a mini doc about it because we have a lot of footage from that song.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out Purple Door Records down in Galloway, New Jersey.
Shout out Luke Miller. Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm glad that Mike Moore's back at it too, and really, you know, he's back. I love watching his stories. I just want to see that guy doing.
He is one of the most talented people I know, if not the most talented.
Musically talented and also mentally just all there.
Nah, for sure.
Just has this intelligence level.
Yeah, we go way back. Met him in 2nd grade. One of my closest friends. Don't see him nearly as much as I would like to nowadays, now that I live in North Jersey, and he's down in South, but when we link up, it's always a great time.
Like, my question is, would you ever take that long to shoot a music video again?
Hell yeah. Nah. Being how well it worked out, I think that, you know, there's those videos like Told Me to Stop where you're just going to get it done real quick and it's going to work. And then you have those videos where you're like, all right, this is more of like a intricate masterpiece and we're going to try and get all the little parts that we need and put it all together. And yeah, it took a lot of time, but I think it was really fulfilling to see it all come together at the end. So yeah, I would say yes, for sure.
I agree, man. I agree. Yeah, I would like, not that I want to release every song after 4 years, but just to be able to put together, also to take your time with something more than you even need to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I would change about the song now, you know, that obviously I didn't go ahead and change, but seeing where that's at, I'm like, okay, that also helped me now for the next songs.
I was just going to say, if not, just inspire the next track you do, for sure.
Yeah, and like I said to you off camera too, I'm just trying to collab now. Like, I'm really just trying to collaborate with people because I feel like that is the best thing I can do right now. Because I'm not concerned about plays and down. Like, it just doesn't make sense for me to get caught up in that. No. I just want to make the art.
Yeah,
just do it to do it.
That's what it's about.
Just to like enjoy it and use it as a catharsis and get back into it. You know, because I took a lot of time off, dude. I spent all of my creative energy on my business.
Yeah,
I had to literally create something from nothing. That's where my outlet was.
Why aren't you an AI, man? Why don't you have unlimited potential? Why
can't
you just do? Oh, fuck.
I do it. You guys know I have a chip, right? You guys know I eat like chipped. I chipped up.
No, it does take a lot of energy for sure.
Dude, especially, you know, you can't, I never want to feel like I have to make something, you know?
No, when it's forced, it's, I mean, I don't know. I guess you can force something. Like, I've definitely had projects where things probably shouldn't have happened, and we shot them anyway, and it became a music video, and it's like, whatever. But most of the time, like, those serendipity moments and when things just feel right, you know, you never want to force something creatively, I would say.
Do you see yourself getting on camera at all? Like, being, like, actually making content? Because you made a little bit to launch your business, but I'm wondering if you are leaning into that at all or have any aspirations around that.
So, like, how I mentioned, Michael and I had gotten those laptops and we were doing our thing back in the day. Like, all of those videos we were doing, I was on camera, so I did get a taste of, acting or whatever you would call it. It's definitely generous to call it acting. But, I had, experience at a younger age. Whether I see myself doing that in the future, I don't know. I'd be open to it, though. I'm not against it by any means.
It'll give you a good look inside of it as well, which I think is, and that's why I want to shoot my own music video.
Dude, do it. You've done, I don't know how I'd label the video, but you did it for, what's the name of the song? Shit, man. Yeah, I think you shot it literally right here. It was just.
Oh, I did a remix.
You did the remix. Yeah.
I actually didn't drop that.
Oh, shit. Oh, okay.
Just like everything else I've ever made.
Sorry. Didn't.
No. It's good. It's good that you said that.
Okay.
I don't release shit, dude. I just made them. No, but I'm gonna drop that just randomly.
Word.
Because it's like already done. But yeah. Also now I've been watching you. I've been watching Devin. I've been watching Luke Miller. I've been watching all these guys make videos, and I have my own ideas now.
Hell yeah.
Of what I want to do, and now I want to go out and do it. Now, if I do it, I'm going to commit to it. I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to pick the right song. I'm going to go out and do it.
Definitely.
That song that I showed you today, Pro Bono, I want to do it for that one, I think, because it's really simple. The one with the singing on the hook.
Yep.
A lot of 908 stuff. Like, I can walk into these businesses and people that I reference, I can just walk in and get the shot.
Yeah, just represent the area myself. That you're 100%
talking about. Dap the people up.
Without a doubt.
Slice pizza, whatever it ends up being.
Wholesome vibes, and
I can do that myself. So I'm gonna do probably some kind of like first person-esque video. There will be shots that are the static camera and I'm like walking in and stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of like all I have for it right now. But I have been thinking about it.
I forget the name of the rig. Maybe Trek could look it up. But it's like they had it in The Hangover for that shot where Stu wakes up.
Prof Bar Breaker, that music video I showed you had it.
Yeah. It's where the camera is basically it's pointing straight at the actor, and wherever they turn, it's attached to their chest. It's like a rig. I'm sorry, Trent. I'm not giving you a lot to go off of here, but it's basically just where the camera is like. If the actor turns, the camera follows.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what that's called.
I should know. I really should.
If you look up also, after you find the name of it, Tret, there's a music video called Bar Breaker by Prof. And that one, the whole video, he's wearing it. And, it's so cool, man.
Yeah.
I'd love to do one with that.
That would be a great tool, because especially if you're doing it all on your own, you just slap the camera on and just walk around. And
I forget what this guy's name is. I'll also find him on Instagram. He shoots all of his own music videos with, like, just like a big boot, like a big extension.
Yeah. Like a selfie stick.
Selfie stick.
Yeah.
People love it, dude. I found him through the videos. I'm like, just the fact that this guy records all of his own shit and he's so hype. Nobody's around.
Yeah.
He's so hype. I'm like, that's an artist right there.
You can just bring that energy.
They don't care about anybody, about anything else. Just like, I'm shooting my shit.
Yep, 100%. My good friend, Zave the Ripper, he did
fellow friend of the pod.
Yes, sir. He's been on the Bobcast. What is? Oh, yes, the Snorri Cam. It's the chest cam body mount. Thank you, Tret.
And if you could share also for people watching on the YouTube, Tret, that Prof Bar Breaker video or the Hangover scene, if you type the name of that camera with the Hangover.
It's
so people can get a visual of what we're talking about.
Yeah, Hangover where Stu wakes up. That like notorious shot where he stands up. You get to see that. But I was starting to say, like the Snorri Cam, those will probably run you a good buck for like the industry standard one. But I know Zave. I call him Javi, but I'm gonna go by Zave because that's his actual name. His name's Xavier. He made like a makeshift one where he just basically took a tripod and him and my other good friend and Zave's manager, Dev, basically set it up where the camera was just like a Snorri, and it just pointed right at him, and they held the tripod up against him, and it was just like basically the same effect. And he ran around for a lyric video, and it was really, really cool. The No Cry video. Yeah, it came out really neat.
Dude, I'd love to do that.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
That'd be so sick.
Hell yeah.
I also do like the me and Vicky just watched End of Watch again.
I haven't seen that.
Tret, you know End of Watch?
Yes.
Great movie.
Very good movie.
Insane. Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh,
And
shit.
forget the Spanish guy's name. It'll come to me. It'll come to me.
I'll find it.
He's in Narcos Mexico, and a lot of other movies. And they're cops in maybe South Central or something like that. Or
Okay.
somewhere over there on the West Coast. And a lot of it's first person body cam. Obviously, with much better cameras than a body cam.
Yeah.
That I also like. So the opposite side of that, instead
Right.
of you on the Snorri cam seeing the person,
Looking
you see
out.
the outward view.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you do any of that? Like, or have you?
I haven't actually, to be honest. They have like mounts for the GoPro, like a chest harness that you can wear and you can insert your GoPro. I think they're pretty cheap. I've looked at them, but I haven't actually pulled the trigger and got one. But definitely would be a powerful tool for music videos and just like narrative work and stuff. That'd be pretty cool to get.
Yeah, and also just to be able to shoot your own shit.
Yeah, 100%.
One of the, like the Snorri or the off the chest mount
Yeah.
GoPro. I mean, listen, all those fucking snowboarders and skateboarders and everybody, there are a lot of them are shooting their own shit.
Yep, they're
dude.
doing that,
Not
yeah.
Jared Mang, dude. He's got like little homies over there, like
Just shooting them
like
as
that's
he's
the way
going.
to do it. Have the little homies who are so hyped.
Yeah.
You know, fucking steady that shit. But they don't got the steady hand though. They don't know
Word.
how to film.
But nah, there's a lot of cool tools out there for sure.
Yeah, there's just so much with video, man. Like, I love audio, and I haven't even scratched the surface. Like, maybe I have. I made a lot of beats. I engineer shit like that. But there's so much more to that. And then now for me stepping into the video realm, just with podcasts only, just to try to figure out what camera to get and how does the scene switcher work, and OBS set export settings.
Well,
like,
let me flip the script a little bit. You asked me, like, the future of video. Where do you see audio heading? Like, 10, 20, 30 years from now? Like, as far as technology, do you think it's going to add to the experience? Do you think it's going to take away from the art form? Like, what do you think that's going to be like?
Yeah, I think we're limited by our ears. I think we're also limited by our eyes too, right? And the fact that like past 8K or something, it doesn't even really.
Yeah, I don't
register.
even know if we go up to 8K as humans. Yeah, it's like somewhere in between like 4 and 6. I could be wrong, but yeah.
If I were to look at the general public, I would assume that people's eyes visually are more developed than their ears. Mm-hmm. Whereas they can spot things easier, details, than they can listen to something and hear the difference,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I think that these so 576 megapixels is that what our eyes are?
Wow.
Yeah, that's what our eyes are.
Holy shnikes.
That's pretty nuts.
That's pretty good. I mean, think of it, the eye is ridiculous.
Yeah, the human eye, you can't beat it. There's no camera that beats it right now.
No, it's not going to happen. But I think that being said, where I see it going for audio is the deep fake with voices, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm recorded on however many hours of audio. Like you can just put that into a system right now and just make me say anything you want.
Nuts.
So that's possible right now.
Wow.
So I think that's crazy. I think with music though, I think Drake, or not Drake, I use him as an example because he's a bad example. But say any artist, right? You're going to upload all of your beats, all of your songs, everything. It's going to be able to create the same way it can with a deep fake audio voice songs. But it's going to create songs out of your current songs. So it's not going to sound like any of your songs, right? It's going to sound like just another Drake song, just another Ye song, just another whoever. But it's going to be able to analyze. You're going to have like almost a hierarchy where it's like you're going to tell the system this song did this well. This song you're going to have a metric, right? This song got this many plays. So the system knows which songs are more popular than others. So it's going to take elements from the more popular songs and they form new songs.
Pull the best parts of each song and
Yes, and it's going to make you say whatever it wants you to say.
Shit.
And or it's going to write you the lyrics and then you rap it.
Damn.
So it's going to basically make the beat. It's going to, from all of your other beats, it's going to formulate the song structure, and then it's going to write the lyrics out, and then you can just rap the lyrics and change what you want to change.
Damn.
I think that's where it's going to go. I think that's where it's going to go in 70 years or something,
Okay.
like pretty far out.
Yeah.
But I just, the thing is this, like, it has to be better. If it's not better than what we have, Oculus isn't better than what we have right now, right? That's
Yeah.
why we don't use it. Any phones are better than what we had. Facebook's better than what we had. Facebook's better than what we used to get here, which is called the Treasure Hunt, which is a little paper magazine that you pick up for free that has your classifieds, your cars for sale, your houses for sale, your odd jobs, your I'll pick up your scrap guys. Facebook is way better.
Right.
So Craigslist and Facebook took that over.
For sure.
Only because it's better.
Right.
So that's the thing. If the songs are better, this will take off. If the songs suck, it won't. It's just a very kind of a black or white scenario.
Definitely.
If the videos are better, it'll take off. Like, if it gets as good or better than humans, it will then be the thing. Humans don't actually care who made the song. They care about the artist, but they don't care who made the song. If they did, they would see all the writer credits and then talk about all those people. They would go to the end of the movie and then watch all those credits.
Yeah.
They don't, because they don't care.
No, you're
they
right.
care about the consumption. They care about the entertainment.
The experience,
value.
yeah.
The experience.
100%.
So you want it to be, I love J. Cole. I want it to be a J. Cole song, but dude, if J. Cole if they just licensed his voice and his beats and put it through their amazing software and spit out the J. Cole song, I don't really care.
Yeah. How does that work, like, legally? Like, as far as these labels and record, like, companies go, like, do they actually own the rights to, like, the sonic, like, you know, nature of your voice? Like, how does it, like, do you still own your voice once you sign to a label? How does that work?
All I know is the most recent example that I have of this is Taylor Swift.
Okay.
They owned all her masters.
Yeah.
So she went out and re-recorded all the songs, and she was good to go. So they owned that version they owned her recordings.
Gotcha.
They didn't own the song.
Got it. Okay.
There's a difference.
yeah.
And so there's a thing called ASCAP, which you have to sign up for, which is like basically music copyright insurance. And there's the Universal Masters as well. There's companies that artists have to use to copyright their music.
Okay.
I don't know the logistics of it.
Got it.
Or like the legality behind
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But at least in Taylor Swift's case, she was able to then go and just re-record. But, bro, you're re-recording a song from 2012.
Right.
Like, this is not the same fucking energy.
Nah.
So, like, imagine getting back into that and being like, okay, I got to record my song that I now hate. You know?
It's tough.
Just to put it back out again. So, that's just one example. I don't know. I see a lot of, I mean, record companies are smart, dude. They're loan companies, right? So, they say, hey, artist, we're going to own everything that you do, but we're also going to give you all this money, and all you have to do is pay it back.
Yeah.
It's a 360 deal. It doesn't always happen, right? Where people get fucked is where labels know that you can't pay it back, right? It's like, that's a shitty label. A good label, though, isn't gonna have a bad deal with an artist.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense. Like,
Yeah, 'cause
you're
they
just-
would want long-term.
You're setting the artist up for failure. Yeah.
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 So that's like, I don't think that people put this evil notation. It's like, I don't think Jack Harlow's fronting when he's like, I love my label, and like my label, like I have no complaints. Like, he might legit have no complaints.
Yeah.
You know, like he might be fine. Like his deal might be fleshed out and went through lawyers and everything.
I would hope. Yeah.
Like if you get fucked on a deal, it's like ultimately it is on you, because nobody signs a contract that they didn't have the opportunity to read most of the time. You know, it's just the fact of like you'd have to learn from other people's mistakes. I think, you know, but I have no, you know, aspirations to get involved in that. You know, if somebody, I don't have the brand for it. Like I would need a lot of fans. That's where you know, entertain label conversations, because we had Ice Made It on this podcast. He's a A&R, art director as well, things like that. And you know, he's explaining that he's like, labels don't take anybody who's not pre-made. They don't take you unless you're built in. Like they don't build shit for you. They just give you the money and the access.
The package has to exist already. You're just presenting the package,
Especially
to
now.
them. Yeah.
The better artists get, the harder it is for artists.
Yeah.
The more fans they have, the harder it is, because now the standard's higher.
Right. Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that the next artist's success hurts your success. No. That just means you need to be better.
For sure.
It's not about talent.
I saw something, and I'm terrible with sources, but there was an artist. He said something about like, if you're not signed yet and you have desire to be signed, don't drop a project. Don't drop an album. Those album sales numbers, metrics, those could be used against you the label will use those against you if it doesn't perform well. Drop singles, drop things that can't be used as leveraged against you. You know, if they're like able to, you know, be like, hey, you put this out and it flopped, this is really all you're worth now. Well, they can now define your worth based on the metrics, you know? So like that was something that I remember one artist saying, like, look, don't put out major projects until you're really confident that they're going to perform, because labels can use that, you know, not in your favor.
Dude, in reality, how many, I would say 100% of the artists you've made videos for wanted that video to do better than it did.
Yeah, no, for sure. And myself included, you know?
Yeah.
And like you mentioned earlier, like if I only focused on the numbers, it would be a tough life, you know?
Yeah.
But it's about more than that, at least at the level I'm at right now. But yeah, for sure.
For the artists that you're working with too, it is more than that.
Totally.
Obviously, because they know where they're at. It's like we know where we're at.
Yeah.
Like we know, like I know I have 1,000 people that fuck with me. It's like I'm ecstatic. Like I fucking think that's incredible, you know? And you know, yeah, 200-300 views, 400 views on Hard Problems, like that's good for me.
Yeah, I mean, what did you just say earlier? You were like, yo, Luke, Dev, you've inspired me to make something myself. Like, in my mind, that's powerful shit,
it's
man.
all about
like,
impact, dude. The fact that, I mean, my biggest part about Bad Things, Good Locations, the best thing for me is that we shot in those locations.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, my friend, shout out to Ethan, you know, he sent me a video that he shot at the dam. And because I was like, damn, I'm the fucking only one who shot here. And I'm like, obviously, I wasn't the only one who shot there. I was the only one who shot a music video like that, or really put on for that location. But,
yeah,
you know, that's what I'm proud of. I'm proud of also just, that's why I post on Facebook, like, this is possible. Like, I'm not killing it in life. It's just like I'm like doing it enough for it to keep going.
And it means a lot to you. Like, those locations are tied back to your childhood. You know, like Exeter, that stands for Exeter Court. That's the street that I grew up on. That's where I started doing all of this. You know, that's where Michael and I were running around with cameras. And yeah, you know, I could have been more witty or, you know, made a more marketable name, but for me, that's a name that as I build credibility and people are like, oh, Exeter, I know that, like, you know, I'm building a brand that for me, the name ties back to something that means a lot, you know? And I think that's important as creatives and artists, for whatever you're making to mean something for you personally, you know?
It's more powerful.
Yeah.
And also keeps you going.
For sure.
And that's what Doty said on the last one too, man. I mean, the fact that, like, you gotta believe in it.
Yeah.
Like, if you believe, you'll, you know, if you have the why, you'll get through anyhow. It's cliche, but it's true.
Totally. No.
And I think that's where a lot of people flop. I mean, that's where a lot of clothing brands they don't move, they don't progress, right? They start off with a spark and an idea. Like, when you're sitting there, like, doing your 137th video, you're there because you did the 8th video. Like, you did the 7th and the 6th. Like, the 6th video you did, you're like, fuck this. This fucking sucks. This artist is annoying. They didn't pay me half my shit or whatever. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. All through that bullshit, you didn't quit. All through my refunds and dealing with clients and this and that, like, didn't stop.
Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah. Because and that's it, man. And because you have the strong foundation that's centered in your belief, I think, sure, it ties back to your street, man. It ties back to the reality of, like, your come up. But it's also the belief that you have, which I think is really, like, there's beliefs, there's skills, and there's character traits. And I got this from a guy named Alex Hormozy. The beliefs are, what do you fundamentally believe about the world, right? That could be helping you or limiting you.
Yeah.
Your skills are your raw skills. What are you good at? What are you not good at? Your character traits are kind of how you react to the world, you know, how you react with others. You can have the best belief system in the world. We know these people. They look, their mindset's like ironclad. You're like, your mindset's so good, you read all these books, whatever. But they're still working that same job that they were 6 years ago. They don't actually continue in life. Then you got the skills people. They got every skill in the world. They're under fucking paid. Yeah. They're making 1/10 of what they should make, right? Because they only have skills. Then you have the character traits people. They're fantastic with people. They're still fucking broke.
Yeah.
Like, this is the best. I just want to be around this guy all day, but he ain't doing shit. So, you need to actually have the You need to first of all recognize the ones that you're not strong in. Maybe it's your beliefs, maybe it's your skills, maybe it's your character traits. You need to also, like, you can't. There will be one or more than one of them will limit you.
Yeah.
And will actually stop you from getting to the next point. And that's where people who are starting out, they don't have a problem starting, right? Like people you get on a diet, right? People have no problem starting a diet.
Yeah.
So, but they'll come to the trainer and say, I can't start. And they go, how many diets did you try? 8? Okay, so you have no problem starting. So that's most people, bro. I feel like their beliefs fucking most of the time stop them, right? You could build the skills over time. But one of these 3 is going to, end up stopping them in their tracks.
Yeah.
And it's about, can you push forward, man? Like, can you know that, fuck, I got a fucked up belief. I literally actually can do this.
Yeah.
If I just figured out how to do it, rather than be like, I can't do it. It's done.
Nah, you're totally right. And I think that goes for people that are looking to constantly grow and to constantly become a better version of themselves, which I think all people on a character, maybe personality level are trying to do that, but not everyone has this huge career goal or this huge business agenda. I know people from my hometown that still live there and they have good jobs, they're making decent money, and they're still living in the same town we grew up in, and they're fulfilled just doing that, and that is dope. That is cool. Everyone has a different idea of what fulfills them and what actually makes them feel like, yeah, I feel good about what I'm doing. And I don't think you have to, a lot of people say leave your hometown, it'll create more growth, and I can attest to that, being that I did that. But I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with just living where you grew up, and if that's what floats your boat, and if that's what makes you feel good, and you're fulfilled with that, I think each person is different. It's very subjective in that sense.
I love this ties in pretty well with the New Jersey conversation. Me and Ethan Ross 2 episodes ago, we wrapped that motherfucker in a bow, so I'm not going there. But it's this idea that there's an expectation to support something, right? Like, oh, this person got put on, so you support us now because you made it. It's like, that makes no sense to me personally. Or you have the person from left the hometown, goes, thank God I left my hometown. And then they go shit on their hometown.
Bruh.
What the fuck is that?
I couldn't tell you.
Bro, that hometown could have fucked your life. It's on you. It's on you to make it better. It's not on anybody else. So it's like, it just makes no sense that like people be like flex that they left their fucking hometown. Just as one example.
Yeah.
I believe it too.
Right.
I left my hometown for a few years too.
Yep.
I believe it 100%. But holy shit, is it not? It's always your obligation to make the change.
Right.
There's never anybody else's obligation.
100%.
If you fucking maxed out your contribution, then you're good. Step away.
Totally.
Go. It's all me. I'll just improve me now. But it's just the fucking crazy counterintuitive mindset. I don't understand.
Yeah. No,
Like,
you're right.
give back,
Do what you can for the people that did what they could for you,
Yeah, and shit. Like, I could go try to fucking make a podcast blow up tomorrow. Like, I know what to do, but that's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I think whether you know it or not, I think you personally, dude, like, there's people that see you from afar and they respect it and they kind of wish that they can have their thing. Like you kind of alluded to before, like, yeah, there are people that are fulfilled, so to say, that are kind of living that kind of average life. But there's also a lot of people that just didn't find it yet.
Yeah.
So they're like wishing that they could have found the thing. I got like 8 of them. I'm good. Like you got video, there's other things that you have in your life as well that you care about. But don't you feel lucky though that you fucking found it? Like,
hell yeah, man. No, I'm extremely grateful. I'm blessed, super fortunate, like people pointed out to me and I'm like, oh shit, you're right. Like the fact that at such a young age, I kind of already had a good hold on what I was going to be doing for my life. That's somewhat rare, and when you're the one going through it, you don't identify it as rare, but you look back and you're like, shit, yeah, I guess that's not everyone's experience. So yeah, I definitely feel blessed and lucky to have that be my reality. But like you said, there's nothing wrong, you know, with having not found that and then, you know, down the line finding it, you know? So,
Yeah, I just think there's so much distraction now too.
Yeah, definitely.
You find yourself in a YouTube hole?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dude, it's bad.
Better than a media news hole, I think. Better than a Fox News hole.
Yeah, no, I can
Hey,
say.
yeah, can I coin this term on the podcast?
What's up?
You know what's going on in culture right now?
What's that?
You know what's going on with Ye right now? I'll leave it at that once I end this. We won't talk about Ye at all.
Okay, thank you.
It's not a K hole, bro. It's a fucking Ye hole.
A yay hole?
Yep.
Oh man.
He's in a fucking Ye hole, dude.
Dude, that's
He's deep down in a fucking Ye hole right now.
Oh my gosh.
He is. He's so deep in that.
My guy.
He's like falling, bro. And he's so deep. It's like he did so much ketamine that he can't even. He's fucking
The K.
Here's the problem is that he should go make music. And that's the end of that.
Word.
But dude, I just think there's so much fucking distraction and Schultz said this too, which I think was really powerful, which is like we went from Trump to COVID and everything was insanity.
Yeah.
And now I do feel it's more relaxed. I do feel it's polarized as shit. But I feel that it's there's a tension that was eased, you know? Like I think we're a little bit I don't like Byron, dude, but I fucking don't mind that he can barely function. Like there's nothing I have to worry about.
I
know?
think it's all relative, like maybe compared to the level of tension, but I would argue there's still a good amount of tension.
No, I think there's more polarity, but I think there's less tension.
Okay. No, that's fair.
No, and I won't include Russia, Ukraine. I think that adds a lot of tension. But I just think in the society right now, I just think there's an ease of... I really think a lot of people, even people who are so riled up and so involved and so checking Twitter and just on their shit and the news and all this.
Do you use Twitter? Sorry to interrupt.
No,
Nah, I don't either.
I don't use it.
Yeah.
You know, I have an account. Like, I'll pop on and just read Elon's shit.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just see what's up. Like, you know what? That's funny, too, man. I love watching this Twitter shit from afar because I don't give a fuck what happens with Twitter. I don't care at all.
Yeah.
Like, Twitter could just delete tomorrow. I just don't care.
Nah, me neither.
Because I don't have a massive following on there. Now, you say that about LinkedIn, motherfucker. I'm getting it.
You'd be like, what?
No, I'm like, you need to owe me money, dude. But it is fun to watch Elon just completely dismantle this entire business and platform and just rebuild it.
For sure.
But I don't know. People are painting this picture like he's destroying it. I'm like, I don't think Tesla engineers have fucking destroyed much. I think they've
No.
built a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You tell me that's not making Twitter better, then you're probably...
Humans don't like change, man. You know, it was a shift. Twitter was run by those people for such a long time. You know, he's a new head. And I think people, anytime there's a shift or a change, they're going to have something to say about it, you know, regardless of what that is. So, but yeah, I don't use Twitter. I feel like if there's anything important that happens on Twitter, it'll get screenshotted and it'll end up on Instagram anyway, you know? So that's kind of my mentality. I've had a Twitter. If you go on mine, it's B Ferrero, and it's been there since 2013. I used it to like make jokes with my friends in high school, but nah, I've never really been a big Twitter guy.
I have 10,000 tweets, bro. You don't want to go through those.
Oh shit, man.
Don't go through them. They're very old. Actually, that would be a good rabbit hole. Man, yo, y'all want to cancel me?
I was just going to say,
Get in there, dog.
Can Bob
it's
get canceled?
all up, bro. I'm already canceled, baby. I try to do it. I try to cancel myself. I've not said any crazy shit on this podcast, bro, at all. I'm very with times. Nothing controversial.
What's your opinion on cancel culture as a whole?
I mean, I think it's it exists to an extent. So like the extent that it does exist is if somebody says something or had said something in the past, which has happened many times, and then companies cut relationships with that person, companies that were paying them, right? So you go from income to less income because of something you said.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cancellation,
Yeah.
right? Like that's what they talk about. Like, so just to get definitions straight, you know, I don't think we can't cancel somebody because we're not everybody. We can't put a fit, like Tate is the perfect example. Andrew Tate's the perfect example.
Yeah.
He's canceled. Okay, why is he everywhere? So does canceling exist? Is it real? Milo Yiannopoulos? Like, there's many other examples.
Like I said, terrible with sources, but didn't he like kind of hack the system? Like, didn't he go out and hire a bunch of people to like post his shit, and that's why he's all over or something? Is that just a theory, or did you see
He
that?
has a social media strategy, but I wouldn't get that conflated with like the fact that, or if he gamed the system to not be canceled. I don't think that's what happened.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, what he did do was he did strategically appear on all of these different shows. And honestly, I think YMH... No. Who did they break? They didn't break him, did they?
Yeah, they broke
him, yeah. And, Your Mom's House podcast. Like, this shit happens organic. Like, obviously it's a plan, what I'm saying, but it just happens in emotion. It's just like one podcast, YMH, then to the next one, then to the next one, then to the next one. Then the clips get spread, then those people repurpose the clips. It's like, how do you cancel clips that are constantly reposted? Like, it's actually, you can't cancel a person, you can cut ties with them.
Yeah.
And you can impact their business. You can ruin their reputation.
For sure.
But you can't, there's no wand to cancel wand. It doesn't just cancel you.
But isn't that itself cancel culture? Like ruining somebody's business and livelihood?
Oh, that's what I'm saying it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But I'm saying beyond that, that's all it is. Like, It's not that all companies will never work with Andrew Tate. Many companies do.
But yeah, no, it's not purely financial. It's also reputation based.
Yeah, and it's also this. There's articles that go out that then get retracted, but they'll go out. So it's like these media, perfect examples like Candace Owens talking to the fucking New York Times or New York Post or something. And they're like, what articles are you referring to, Candace Owens? She's like, your own articles. And then she's like pulling up all these articles that they wrote. That they're like, where are you getting this information from? Like, that's the fucking media is backwards, bro. Like, it will tell you what it wants to tell you, and then it'll just retract everything that's not true, but it will put the thing out not being true, and then everybody thinks that's true.
Yep.
And I think, and also think about this, the fucking litter boxes, we covered this, but the litter boxes in classrooms thing, like, that's real. It's not real because a kid was a cat, identified as a cat, and they put a litter box in the bathroom. That didn't happen. But there's litter boxes in schools. That happened. That's real. But they conflated it as kids wanted litter boxes, so now they have litter boxes.
This is news to me. I had no idea about that. That's crazy.
But that's an example.
Yeah.
It's not. You can't believe what you see. You can't believe what's said. The article will come out, and then the retracted or then the new article will say it is real, but it's actually in case there's a bomb threat and they need to stay in the school for more than they need to stay in the classroom for more than a day. Then they have essentially litter that people can go to the bathroom in fucking Colorado.
Oh my gosh. Damn, it's a scary world.
Crazy world, but what you see is not what it is.
Yeah.
So that's what I think, like, yeah, sure, that is a definition of cancellation. But it's not, I don't know, though. I'm not at that level. I mean, I just listen to what people say about it.
Totally.
Shane Gillis is a great example. He's a comedian. Not sure if you know of him.
Not familiar.
Gillian Keeves, really great comedy videos. They're great, man. But he got off SNL. They took him off SNL right after he got hired because of something he said on a podcast. He got canceled, but he got canceled from SNL. He didn't get canceled from the fucking world.
Yeah.
He got on the show he wanted to be on his entire life. Didn't even get the chance to be on it. Then they pulled him because of something he said on a podcast. And now he's fucking killing it.
So there's levels to this shit. Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's one, there's levels to the shit and something goes down over here and pops up back up over there. Like, I think it's the yin and yang.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't see it as all bad, I guess is what I'm saying.
For sure.
And it's also probably not as bad as what you would think that it is, Unless there's people walking around that have fucking done war crimes, and I mean, you name it, not to go into the conspiratorial realm, but there's some shit that's gone on that has been swept under the rug for fucking ever.
It's never been questioned.
Yeah, nobody says shit.
Yeah. No, 100%. It's just what we choose to bring our attention to, or the media chooses,
What you make a big deal of.
Yep.
So I guess that never intrigued you, the media side of production. Because there's people that you went to school with that did probably go into that.
Well, I mean, I attended a school in Galloway, Apscammy High School, and I took media classes. I took 3 of them. And yeah, we learned about like Viacom, Rupert Murdoch, like just like the big OGs, the people that are kind of pulling the strings. Media for me, it was a great way to open up my understanding of how video was practically applied in the world, like how people made money from it and the actual uses of it. But I never really like, I guess that was like, once again, more of a cookie cutter approach. Like, there's not a lot of creative liberty. I've always kind of had that artistic tone and
Take
media.
a chance or
Yeah. So like, if you're on a news broadcast, there's obviously a formula to that. You know what I mean? You're not gonna be able to go too far outside of that. And it was cool. Like, once again, bringing up Michael, him and I were news anchors for the morning news in high school. And that was a cool experience. But I never really had too much of a desire to get into any like communications or media, that sort of thing.
I think it's don't you think it's amazing though how all of our consumption is video now?
Yeah.
Like it's podcasts too, but most podcasts have video for a reason.
For sure.
Like we're all just watching people all day.
Yeah. It's funny too, how like just the adaptation of the picture ratio from horizontal to vertical. Like, now I'll be on my desktop looking at YouTube and there's vertical videos and I'm like, this looks weird, but it's like most video is consumed through your smartphone nowadays, you know?
It's true. And so do you have to think about that as a video creator, videographer shooting these videos? Like, how does that factor in now? Because the fact that I'm going to make more clips than you are going to make videos. You're going to make one video, but I'm going to make 18 clips.
For sure. So what's interesting is if you're a videographer, and you're shooting a video horizontally, and then you're like, hey, I want to, obviously tap into the best that these algorithms have to offer and create vertical content. Most of the time what you're doing is you're taking a horizontal video and you're shaving off the sides and then you're just getting that vertical. If you really want to get the most of what your camera has to offer, just rotate your camera 90 degrees, shoot it vertically. A lot of people don't do that. The only downside is if you want to reconvert it to horizontal, you can't. Yeah. But you're now not losing all of those pixels, all of that information that you would have if you just cropped your horizontal. Like, I've shot a couple rap freestyles with my close friend Rec. I shot one with Zave, my boy Kasi B. We've done videos where I've literally just rotated the camera and, maybe a normal consumer wouldn't have noticed, but for me as a videographer, I'm like, hell yeah, that looks much better. But yeah, definitely now that vertical is like the mainstream thing, I wouldn't say that it's totally overpowered my decision making when composing shots. Like, I'm still composing for horizontal, but then like you're still in the back of your head keeping in mind, maybe you keep things a little centric because, I'm like, chop this vertical later, so it's definitely in the back of my mind sometimes.
Yeah, with this, man, I mean, the angles we have are there for vertical.
We're damn in the middle of these frames right now. Yeah,
that's the point.
Yep.
Makes it easier in post
100%
to cut in, man.
Yeah.
Do you, I mean, I guess it's kind of crazy. Like, I guess Vine was the first vertical video that was super popularized, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would say
Snapchat as well.
Yeah.
Video,
I guess around the
Instagram,
same time.
maybe, but
But
nobody was making no. Instagram didn't figure it out, dude. They were doing like wide on the vertical. Phone.
Right. Yep.
But it had to be wide.
Yeah, I don't think stories actually were out until Vine was already like done with.
IGTV was a massive fucking flop too. That made no sense.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That was weird.
That made no sense because it had nothing to do with TV.
No.
Or IG.
Yeah, it was an interesting approach.
But it must have been, it was Vine, but then there's a massive gap until TikTok took off, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
Because what was the deal, bro? Why were people not hyped about fucking... Triller was kind of cool.
Triller's still a thing, right? Like, people
that was
still...
like the original like TikTok, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, which it is still a thing. But it's just like it's once again, can't predict, gotta adapt. You just wait for the market to come around.
For sure.
Like, those Vine guys are probably like, I told you.
Well, what Vine was doing outside of just the picture style being vertical, it's the duration, Like, as time has gone on, and the same, the very reason why you can't sit down and watch a movie from the 1920s is because our attention spans as a species has shifted drastically. Like, you can't watch something that probably lasts longer than 25. I'm probably talking too long right now. Like, people are probably losing interest as I'm speaking. You know what I mean?
They lost
like,
us an hour ago.
Yeah, exactly. So like, Vine was like the first to literally realize, all right, people don't give a fuck that much, but they give a fuck a little bit for a short period of time, and
I'm actually I'm gonna show them that they should only care for this long.
Right, maybe they set the precedent. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And TikTok's in muddy waters, baby. We don't know where that's going.
Yeah. So what nation was it? Is it China? Where did TikTok come out of?
Yeah, China's I think ByteDance or ByteDance is the parent company of TikTok. Yeah, they're in China. The CCP controls the businesses in China. Mm-hmm. We're gonna get canceled, and by China. And so, that was the security risk was the issue, you know, and that's what Trump said. He was saying that often about TikTok, and there's actually now a state, Beijing technology company ByteDance.
TikTok came out of
Trey,
Beijing.
can you find the state that banned government employees from getting on TikTok? There's now a state that's banning government employees from being on TikTok because of the security.
A U.S. state? Yeah.
U.S. state.
Oh,
yeah, I
shit.
believe it's Georgia, Louisiana, something like that.
Oh, fuck.
Because of the security risk. Yeah, so, that's the thing. Like, yeah, the U.S. owns a little bit of it. Like, U.S. companies own a little bit of it, but that was just so they could continue in the U.S. So they could be like, no, we're good. The U.S. people will check up on us or whatever. They're shipping off all that data.
Yeah.
And who knows what the CCP is going to do with it. And I do think that, and I won't go conspiratorial. I really don't like to go there because I just don't think that's. I think a lot of people say the Chinese are going to use TikTok. They're going to use TikTok to take us over. I don't think that's happening.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's that extreme, I guess. But I think it is changing culture. So you could make an argument for, I think, TikTok potentially changing culture. But I wouldn't say that it's like the Chinese, I just wouldn't say that.
Or the security thing always makes me laugh, man, because it's like people get so caught up on their privacy and their security, and they're like, I don't want my shit out there, bro. Like, people willingly, ignorantly, not realizing, are on Facebook, Instagram, putting half their life up there, and then if someone violates their privacy, they're like, oh my gosh. It's like, dude, you've been doing this to yourself for X amount of time, I don't know.
It's true, and it went viral, though, of Joe Rogan going through the TikTok terms of service. Have you seen that?
Nah, I haven't.
It's not good.
No.
If you have TikTok on your phone, they can access your entire phone.
Meaning contacts, messages, that?
Bank accounts.
Whoa.
Google passwords. Anything.
Wait, just if the app is on your phone?
Not just your phone, your computer, too.
Where's my phone, bro? I'm about to uninstall.
No, you don't get to. Fucking air stealing your shit right now.
Nah, dude.
Good thing we're not that important.
Yeah.
This is why I'm not worried.
That's nuts.
They can also access any of your devices. Yeah, it's in there. You just gotta go watch the video of him. He just reads it off. It's not made up.
That's
it's
crazy.
Just a fact. So, and hey, Facebook's isn't any better. The
Yeah.
fact that they can turn your mic on at any time. Alexa, not any better when they can use it against you in court and pull your Alexa recordings. What the fuck is going on,
Yeah.
bro? So it's I don't know, man. I'll try to let's keep this thing simple, I mean, you have a security camera. You signed up for an app for that security camera. You didn't read that.
Right.
You didn't read that terms of service.
No.
They're able to pull your video feed anytime, anywhere.
People just want their shit to work. They don't care about the fine print or whatever it is.
Yep.
It's I want this to work for what I need it to do, and that's about it, So
It's scary, but I like to focus on the exciting parts of this. I'm more I try to be a realistic optimist,
for sure. No.
I think you're like that too, man. I mean, I don't think you'd be doing this shit if you didn't think it was gonna work.
Nah, without a doubt.
Foresee the future being, this being part of it.
Without a doubt, yeah.
And I think there's more and more independent artists, and I think also the quality, especially the quality specifically of what you make is 100% in demand because there's gonna be a lot of people coming in and out of the industry quickly, and not being able to establish the footing. So I think ultimately, regardless of anything that happens in society, it's dude, there's always going to be artists that need their voice to get out because they are the people, to loosely tie this together here, they are the people that people will look towards for their relief, really.
Yeah.
And that is what a podcast is, a Joe Rogan, a news, a XYZ, a music video, a song, an album. It's the escape from reality.
Escapism, for sure, without a doubt.
And we're part of it.
No, you're right.
And I love it.
No, I'm happy to be a part of it. You know, if it helps your mental health or gives you a little bit of relief from your day to day or whatever it is, you know, take a moment to just escape. You know, for a long time, actually, I had to check. It might still be in my bio. It was for a long time, but my motto for a while was create your own reality, which does sound a little dangerous in the sense like you don't want to be ignorant to what's actually going on in the real world. You know, still pay attention and know what's going on in your environment. But like the idea that you can paint your own picture, create your own reality, and with your camera and with your editing software and CGI or whatever the hell else, you know, you could really make something that never existed exist, which is really cool to me.
I love something from nothing isn't it? It's
Manifestation,
so
man. It's powerful.
Yeah. You know, you're doing this. You've been on the hit reality TV shows, biggest in the world, arguably, some of them. You know, from the hip hop music videos, which you do on a weekly basis, daily basis. You know, what are your film aspirations though? Like, what would you like? Is there like big things that you'd like to do, or are there small things you'd like to do, or like I went into film to definitely do this one day? You know, does that exist?
I didn't know it until maybe like junior year of college. Documentary. I think there's a lot of really cool stuff going on in the fictional world, the narrative world, just creating something that doesn't exist. But there's so many stories, man, that are out there that haven't been told that deserve to be told, you know? And whether it's like social justice or like different things that could actually benefit people, like those people might not necessarily have a voice. And something like documentary, you go in and you bring your cameras, you can, you know, do some powerful shit, you know, make a change. Not necessarily sure exactly what that might be, but I know that there's communities and people out there that if I were to go out and do something with, you know, could make some dope stuff, you know?
Yeah, and I just saw a sneak peek of one of them.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
sure how much you could say about that.
No, I'll mention it because I think it's been on his story. My good friend Dodie, who was recently on the podcast.
Previous episode, last Monday, yep.
Yes, sir. We've been working on a documentary for the last year for his brand, Subject Skate brand. Shout out Subject. And that's... I'm trying to think if I've dove into doc prior. Not really. That's like kind of like my first swing at it. And it's been dope. And kind of like our approach to bad things. It's like it's a slow process, man. You can't do documentary overnight. It takes a lot of research. It takes a lot of time. Going to a lot of places. We've talked about the amount of B-roll, just like for people that don't understand what B-roll is. Like there's A-roll, which is where like basically this entire podcast is A-roll, where, you know, people are speaking and things are, being said directly from the people that are, you know, saying things. But outside of that, the B-roll are like shots of, objects or environments or other people that are supportive elements to help further tell the story, you know? So you need a shit ton of that for a documentary. It takes a lot. Another big inspiration of mine is my cousin, Peter Ferrero, and he's been kind of trying to transition out of the wedding, area, and he's actually dove headfirst into documentary. He had a doc called The Price of Fame that came out. It was like a wrestling documentary that was really, really cool. He also had a doc that's on Hulu. It's called Her Name is Chef, and it's about women in the culinary industry and like breaking the glass ceiling and all that kind of good stuff, which is really neat. So I have, people in my life that have definitely pointed me in that direction. And then, like I mentioned, in junior year of college, I had that I took a course that kind of opened my eyes a little bit. So yeah, I would say I would see documentary being the future for me down the line, far down the line.
Yeah, there's just such a need for more reality, like more real.
Yeah.
And that's what a documentary provides, because it gives you a plain, not plain, but a kind of untouched view of reality, not a put together view like a music video or like a TV show or
for sure
does. And that you have to capture what you capture.
Yeah.
And you have to capture what's actually happening in life.
Totally.
You're not formulating it. It's the opposite of reality TV. Reality TV is not reality.
No.
Documentary is reality TV.
Yep.
in the clear sense, man. I can't wait for you to get into that industry, dude.
Yeah, no. The thing, like, you were like, what was it that about music videos that made you want to do them? Docs are very different in the sense that it could or should take a crew. It takes funding. It takes, investors. It's not as easy of a thing to tackle as, say, a low, level music video. So, what Dodie and I are doing is really cool, and it's going to come out great, and I'm excited for it. But I know down the line, as, funds are different, and, I have different, tools in my toolbox. I think that it's cliche to say, but, like, the sky's the limit in a sense,
I want to also harp on the collaboration element, dude. Like, me and you have just been collaborators.
Yeah.
Like, that's all we've been doing. Like, we've just worked together.
Straight up.
Like, just, and that's, if you didn't look at my shit and go, he's got something. If you didn't think that, you wouldn't be working with me.
Not at all.
You know, I want to, like, I probably, honestly, I didn't have nobody fucking shooting any videos. So I would be like, all right, brother B, like.
Well, you had a couple videos before we worked, right? Or nah? Was Hard Problems like the
It actually
official?
was my first real music video, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
honored. Hell yeah.
I did all remixes myself.
Word, bro.
Yeah,
Damn.
me and Smilo, actually.
Damn.
We shot a lot of remixes, but that was it, dude. So he shot a lot of pictures for me and stuff. He actually shot a video. We just never made it.
Gotcha. Yeah, Smilo is insanely talented behind the lens.
You want to say, like, dude, you guys, I consider you guys on the same level for what you guys do. Like, him for photo, you for video. But I really want to emphasize that, like, a lot of videographers aren't doing the collaboration, like, aren't treating it like a manager and A&R.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how you're treating it, because you're going, I believe in this guy, I'm going to work with him.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen. It doesn't happen in finance. It doesn't happen in these other industries.
For sure.
So if you are, for anybody listening, watching, if you are in a creative field at all, or even if you're not, just find a fucking way to collaborate. It seems so simple. It seems so cliche, but it's 100% true. It will propel you. Like, it will bring you to the next place. Like, if you're sitting and you're stuck and you're like, I don't know what to do in my life, my business, my XYZ, just collaborate. I think is the answer.
I totally agree. Yeah, without a doubt. And thank you to my younger brother Jason. It's the whole reason I'm here right now. He, you guys were in the same class in Atlantic City, right? Stockton University. And
I'm in AC campus, dog.
Yeah, and I think he was talking to you, and you were like, "I'm a rapper," and
he was talking, and I'm like, I gotta talk to this guy, bro. It's like, dude, it's you can't even explain him. I can't even explain him.
Nah, he's one of a kind. He's
one of a kind.
Yeah, he is probably
the way he looks at, like, the way he dude, his character traits. Come on.
Yeah.
That guy's to the
Nah, he is my favorite human on this planet.
Best character
yes.
ever, bro.
I love my
'cause he
brother
is one.
to death. But yeah, super grateful that Jay connected us.
And hey, my brother shoots music videos. Oh shit, I rap. I'll bet. Next thing you know, every time we hang out, we either shoot or we work, bro. We chilled today for 2 hours, which is a record.
No, chilling is good. Yeah, we try to do that because it's like, shit, man.
And have friends like that, dude. Have friends that you don't chill with. You just work.
Yeah.
You just make shit.
Nah, totally.
Trust me.
But it is a good balance. Like, it's good to have that, chill time as well. But if you have people that are uplifting you and, helping you reach your best potential, definitely hang out with those people.
I think, dude, Tret has been a godsend to this fucking podcast.
Hell yeah.
Dude. I mean, for real. Like, I don't know. Now, everybody thinks that Tret works for me. You can substantiate.
Trent just said no.
Substantiate. I go, hey, boy, Tret's got a fucking real job, dog. Tret's making the big.
But Tret is a legend. Like, I've had the privilege to produce a couple of these Bobcasts. The way that Tret will just pull something up and then we can just look over and see it, like, that takes me like 10 minutes sometimes. Like, this dude is nice.
Dude, we got today Dodie goes, yeah, Brandon, show us the screen.
I was like, shit. How do I do that?
I'll tell you, man, everybody starts somewhere. Brother B goes, I know you're not going to mind me saying this because I feel like you'll laugh at this too. He goes,
Oh, fuck.
So I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I just thought this was so funny.
No, it's all right.
It's not a dig. I have something to contribute for a conversation. That was it.
Oh, wait, what did I say?
That you were producing. You were like, I have something to contribute for conversation. And then you said it.
Did I say that?
But that was your lead in, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because you were like, dude, this shit is like, well, Tret, see, the thing is where he's at now. You in the beginning too, Tret, like, you probably thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. that was the. I trust me too, dude.
Yeah.
All you do is think about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just funny. It's like, you know, he fucking makes it look easy.
No.
Well, especially over here, like you kind of just have to barge right in. You know.
Yep.
You just
I
have to
need
barge
that
right
too.
in.
I'm not gonna fucking go to you.
No,
I mean, I
yeah.
will. Like, I'll turn to you for a specific thing, but if you have something to say, fucking say it. You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm like gonna try to lead the show, but it's like a lot of times the guest will take over, and then it's like, you know the deal. He might save me from a fucking. He might save me from me, which is what he's doing 98% of the time, and 2% of the time he's saving me from, you know, a long-winded story that just needs a little more color. you know?
For any celebrity or talented person out there that you follow, there is a team of people that make them look very good, and in this instance, Tret is doing that. here.
Behind every for real, bro, behind every artist, behind every music video, there's a Brandon. Behind every single fucking deer that hits your fucking car, there is a Tret. He's got a whole backstory.
Oh,
bro.
boy.
Fucking Tret. But I'm not joking, dude. I'm not joking. Everything gets there somehow,
Yep.
right? And like, you're just part of this system, you know.
No, you're right, bro.
And dude, I'm glad to have you as you know, as a friend, dude, and as, you know, a collaborator, and really as, you know, somebody that I've became, you know, so much closer with over the past 4 years. And I was making this video together and finally releasing it. Just it feels so good, man. But it's also it's the door's not even all open. You
No.
know? It's just cracked.
For sure.
You know, so I can't wait to see what we create together in the future. And it's getting late, so I can't talk. But
No, no.
double podcast today. We did it, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Before we dip out, man, just let people know what's going on, what's on the horizon, anything that's within the near future. This will be out in 2 weeks, mid-December.
Word. Okay, so the video might already be out. But you could, if you could please go on Instagram and follow Exeter LLC. It's EXETER LLC. I have a video with my close friend and brother, Zave the Ripper. It's called Sunrise. It's going to be dropping on the 16th of December, so it may be around the same time as this episode. Really cool project that we put a lot of, you know, blood, sweat, and tears. Not literally, but a lot of hard work went into it. So it'd be awesome if you guys could check that out. It's Exeter on YouTube. That's, you know, where you can find all of the work that I put out. And pretty much releasing things on a very regular basis. So if you guys want to tap in and see some cool music videos and content, definitely give it a follow. I'd appreciate it.
I have a cool music video for you to watch, actually, if you want. It's called Bad Things, Good Locations.
Yeah, and I'm so sorry. I should have plugged that. Yes. And
No, you're good. Dude. I had it, bro. I had the
Word,
plug.
yes.
You're straight.
Thank you.
But yeah, dude, incredible work on that, and I got to give us both credit.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it'll be in the description below. If you're watching and listening to this, you watch the video already, and I appreciate you. But that's in the description too. Everything that Brandon just mentioned, including the Instagram, the videos, and everything's in the show notes and description, wherever you're watching or listening. And yeah, man, thanks for doing this, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks for helping with the pod as well.
100%.
The other producer, shout out to AK40 Devin and Brandon. I think I think you might have him beat for the amount of times you've been. I think he's on only 2.
Okay, word.
So I think we're coming up. We're gonna need to make a little competition.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what's up. Tret, thanks, buddy.
Anytime.
Thank you,
brother.
Chet.
Anytime. Thanks, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know the fucking deal. This is Bobcast. If you're listening on the audio, we are also on the video. That's YouTube. We're blowing that up. We're doing it. And I'll say it once again. We're on all platforms, even the ones nobody uses. All right, we're out. Peace.